Well, g'day guys, it's blogging time, and today's thought is this. It's they said yes. Who's they, I hear you ask? Well, they are all the characters in the Bible, and not only just the characters in the Bible, but all the Christians since then. Big names, small names, unheard of names, but they all said yes to God. Quite often in our church life, we're defined by a different word, no. Church is made up of the rules and the do's and the don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. No, we don't agree with that. No, we don't agree with this. You know, in the Bible, the picture is of a whole group of people who said yes. Abraham said yes to God. Will you leave your homeland? Will you go to the promised land that I have mapped out for you? Yes. Moses, will you go back to Egypt and will you lead the people of Israel? Yes. Esther, will you be the queen? Will you save the people of Israel? Yes. In fact, in that book it says, for such a time as this, I am alive. Isn't that amazing? All the way through up to Paul, he meets Jesus. Will you be my missionary? Yes. When have you said yes to God lately? I know we all said yes to God when we decided to follow Him, but have we been saying yes in our everyday walk with Him? Just the other day I was on the train. Well, when I say just the other day, I mean a couple of months ago, but there you go. I was on a train a couple of months ago, and I was traveling along, and God just said to me, I want you to go talk to that guy about me. And I was like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? Because, like, seriously, I wouldn't know what to do. And God just kept nagging at me, go talk to this guy. So finally, I went over and I sat down and I said to him, hi, I'm Pete. This is going to be a little bit weird, but I just sense that God's telling me to come over here and talk to you. And then, for some reason, I asked him this question. To this day, I don't know why. I said, what do you think about that? That God would ask me to come and talk to you. And his response was, I'm blown away. I've just decided to become an atheist. Which is really interesting, isn't it? Here's this guy who suddenly doesn't believe there's a God anymore and has just decided, and God sends me and says, will you say yes to me? Will you walk across the train? Will you talk to that guy? And this is a moment where I've said yes. I could rattle off all the moments I've said no as well. But let's not dwell on the negatives. Let's look at the positives. We are meant to be a yes kind of people, especially when it comes to God. Are we saying yes in our daily walk? Is that what we do? Or do we get that sense, that prod that God says, oh, I want you to do this. And you go, I'm not really listening. How about I read my Bible? How about I do a big thing for you? And all God's actually asking you to do is go over and talk to somebody maybe. I remember I was at a prayer retreat and God said, climb that tree. And I said, okay, it's a big tree. And I went and had a look at it and I went, no, that's too big for me. I can't get up there. That's a bit scary. And he said, climb the tree. And I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to walk the boundary and I'm going to pray. So I did. I went out and I walked the whole boundary and I prayed the boundary fence. And I just prayed and prayed and prayed. And it was a fantastic prayer time. And I got back to the tree and God said, that's great. Now climb the tree. I was like, oh man. I wasted a lot of time doing other things rather than listening to God's voice telling me what I should do. Isn't that interesting? Are we like that? Sometimes I think we are. Are we hearing God's voice? Are we saying yes to God even when it's tough? Are we saying yes to God even when our life might be in danger, like Paul did, and many, many, many other people who said yes to God? It's a good prayer to pray. Are we people who say yes? Or are we defined by the no that we give? The no, you're not good enough. The no, we don't want to know you. Let's not be defined by our no, but let's be defined by our yes. Yes and amen to God's promises. Yes and amen to what He's asking us to do. Yes, we will follow you. This week, let's try and pray about that. Let's try and seek God, see what God would have for us this week. And when He tells us, let's say yes. Amen? Fantastic. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.